Hey everybody, this is Beelit, and this is the final episode of MKX Online. So, I thought for the last video, I would kind of talk about my overall thoughts on the game, my time with it, and, you know, whether or not I enjoyed it, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. And, you know, it's very complicated. It's going to take a very long time to do. So, I guess the best way to say it is thank goodness Injustice 2 is out. I really did not like MKX. I had periodic moments where I was okay with the game, but I don't think I ever had, you know, those really solid moments of just loving the game. When it first came out, I played Jax, and I really liked Jax, but I felt a little dirty using him because he was just brain dead good, and like I could beat people for free that I felt I really didn't have any business beating, you know, just because I just start pressing buttons on them, you know, and I'm plus, so, you know, I decided to move away from Jax fairly early on, after just kind of feeling like I'm steamrolling people I have no business steamrolling. And ever since then, I struggled with the game. I played Ninjutsu Scorpion, and initially he was Booty Doo, that was the technical term. And then he was bad initially. He could be played, but he was bad, and it took a heck of a lot more effort to win playing him early on in the game than it took to play someone else. And the game was 50-50 heavy. I think towards the end they toned down a little bit of the 50-50s, but there was still a lot to go through as far as the game went, because a lot of characters would have lows and overheads in their strings, and you had to try to go through all of them and figure out which were the overhead, which were the lows, try to put all of that into your mind. And then you had specials that were overhead, specials that were lows, and then you mix and match the strings with the specials, and you had all kinds of nonsense. And it was very offense heavy, extremely heavy on offense, and so much so that it was kind of overwhelming for me. I'm not a big, you know, I'm not huge on offense. I like, you know, more of the in a sense slow burns, I guess, you know, not necessarily zoning, but I like a little bit of a more methodical game than a more, you know, just Michael Bay explosions kind of setting, if that makes sense. And MKX was explosions 50-50 50-50 over and over again, and that's just not my kind of game. So I played Ninjutsu Scorpion as a way to try to play the game that I wanted to play, and you know, he was bad. Anyway, then they buffed him, and they made his second hit an overhead, and while that didn't necessarily make him, you know, crazy insane top tier, it kind of took away from the reason that I had played him, because now he had a mix-up, you know, and the reason I played him was because he really didn't, you know, and that's the way I wanted to play the game, and then they ruined that for me. And while, you know, the forward 2 overhead thing wasn't the craziest mix-up in the game, it was still there, and it still kind of ruined it for me. And so I spent most of the game after that kind of in a character crisis, just trying out different characters, seeing what I enjoyed. Cyber Smoke came out, and I really liked Smoke. Smoke is my favorite Mortal Kombat universe character, and so I played him. He was all about the vortex, and you know, for a while I was okay with that just because it was Smoke, but eventually I had to go back. And you know, ever since I stopped playing Smoke, you know, game wasn't too much fun. Then I played Sector for 5 minutes and just stopped playing the game altogether. So I guess you could characterize my time with MKX as just soul searching, endless soul searching, and not finding an answer. I think at the end of the day, MKX just wasn't my kind of game, and you know, that's totally fine. I tried, you know, I really did. I gave it an honest shot. It just didn't work out for me. I think it was still beneficial because I still learned a lot. I was forced to play differently than how I wanted to play, and so I was forced to kind of play a different kind of game I normally wouldn't have enjoyed playing, and that was good for me. And so I think it was beneficial as far as, you know, skills go, but as far as fun went, really not so much fun. But would I get another Mortal Kombat game? I think I would. I just wouldn't take it seriously. I would play it for what it's worth, enjoy it as much as I could, and I wouldn't really commit, I guess, to it. I would just enjoy it for what it was, and not really get too into the game. I'd still want to learn characters and stuff like that, but when I would play online, you know, I would take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, oh, that just brought back some nice Mortal Kombat memories. Oh my goodness, the salt. This game had a way of making you really frustrated because stupid stuff was so good in the game, unreasonably good. If you turned your brain off, you did better at Mortal Kombat. I think that was, I don't think a scientist ever sat down and really made a true experiment of it, but if a scientist had sat down and made a true experiment of it, they would have found that that was absolutely true. If you turned your brain off, you did better at MK. Fact. Freaking fact. Maybe at super duper high level, you had to put in a little bit of brain power, mostly on the execution side, but I don't think, I just do it. Just do it. MKX was really just the just do it game of all time. I can't imagine another game that was more just do it than MK. I really can't. You know, just bad. Just freaking nuts. Crazy freaking stupidity. Like, I got the timing, but it didn't matter. You see, I got it just didn't matter. Who cares? It's Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, baby. You do whatever. Just do it. Yeah, I got it that time. Cool. Anyway, yeah, I'm done rambling. If I were to give a rating to Mortal Kombat, I would probably give it 6.5. As far as my enjoyment of it went. It was okay. It just wasn't my cup of tea. And, again, I can sum it up by saying I'm really glad Injustice 2 is out. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the MKX adventures. I hope you guys will continue to enjoy Injustice 2 adventures. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.